Okay, I'm about to start putting my warp onto my loom, and I thought I would explain the importance of the cross. So when I warp on my warping mill, I make a cross with the pegs. I'm just going to pan around. You can see the pegs up there, and you can just about make out my guideline. So what happens when I wind my warp is that it will go, one way will go under and over the pegs, and the other way will go over and under the pegs. And what this does is it will separate your threads. So one thread should be under and the next one should be over. This means I can put my threads onto my loom in the correct order. So what you can see here is I have put, these are my little loops that I make when I do my warp, and you can see I've put my warping sticks through part of my cross. And if I pull the other one, just bear with me, you can see quite clearly, if I move that out of the way, there's my cross. Don't know if you can see that. There we are. And what this means is, I need a cameraman, I think. Okay, so if I spread these out, let me try it with this one. Okay, what you should see is very fine. I've got 688 threads on this warp, and it is going the whole width of my loom, which is really exciting and scary at the same time. Okay, so there's the first thread, and it's going over this warp stick. Just swap hands, and this one, if I can grab it, there, look, is this second one is going over the top of this warp thread, and you can just see the cross down in there. Now that will be all the way across on my warp threads, so one will go over and under, and one will go under and over. So I will then thread, when I put them through my heddles, this is my raddle on top of my luette, these are my heddles. I will spread the warp out on my raddle across the top of my luette, and that will then give me, spread out my threads along the back here, this back beam, which will then be wound. This is a double back beam, which means that I can do 2 warps of different thickness, and it will then get wound onto this beam here, which is just under my warp sticks at the moment, and by putting it through the raddle, it spreads the warp across the length of my loom. It will then get threaded through my heddles there, and then on the front, I'm going to swing round to the front. Oh, I don't think I should have taken camera work. Maybe I should have done. Okay, this is where my reed sits. At the moment I've taken it out because it's easier. And the threads will then go through my reed, which will be in here. And then they will get wound onto my front beam and my cloth beam. Around my front beam and onto my cloth beam. And then I can start weaving, and hopefully it won't take me too long to do. So that is why you always put a cross on your warp as you wind it. And I also do 2. There's another one here at the start of the warp. This warp is 3 meters long. Blimey, it's gonna be a big beast. Anyway, that's why you put the cross on, and hopefully that makes sense. Thank you.